Okay, welcome, welcome. Today is Book Club Science of Getting Rich, and we are on. I'm still trying to bring my stuff up here. Give me 1 second. Okay, we are on chapters 9 and 10. Today we're talking about one of our six higher faculties. Some people are not aware of these faculties that once we learn them and once we practice them, it's practicing. Hi, Gina. Welcome.
Hey, Gina.
Okay. I just got started here, Gina. So I'm going to, let's see.
Look,
Whoops. Okay. All right. Talking about one of the six higher faculties. And does anybody know what those are? Anybody? Um, and Sue, there we go. It's Sue in here. Okay, one of them is will, which we are going to talk about today. That's what chapter 9 and 10 is about. How to use the will and how to continue to use the will, future use of the will. All right. So anyway, the six higher faculties, one of them is will. We got imagination. We've got intuition. We've got memory, reason, and perspective. Okay, those are your six higher faculties. And if we are not aware that we have these, I mean, yeah, everybody knows of these words, but I mean, if we don't know how to use them, these are huge tools to have in our back pocket, in our part of our itinerary, our assets. You know what I mean? So in the dictionary, I looked up the word will. All right. And it said your desire or wishes of your possessions for after you are gone. Is that how you guys consider the will? That's what the will is. That's what my first thought is, but a lot of people don't think of it as willpower. And that is what they are referring to in this book, using our willpower. Okay. And it means to control or to do something or to restrain from doing something. Okay. We have to, like quitting smoking. We need willpower to quit smoking. I've quit smoking. I know how freaking hard that is, but you know what? It is, and I tell you what, I smoked for over 40 years, 45. Oh my gosh. Is that crazy? That is so sad.
I
Y-
do.
Yeah. Have you quit, Gina? Have you quit yet? You will.
I did.
You know what? You gotta want it. You
I
gotta want
know.
to quit. And I'm telling you, it is just a habit. It's just a habit. And if we can just, you know, last year when I quit, and I'm going to tell you guys straight up, I started again. I've quit again too, so it's all good. But I
That's
did,
good. Yeah,
you
it's
know,
okay to stop and start.
I did, but I think I've got it licked now. After 45 years, it took some willpower. It really
Yeah.
did. And it is just a matter. Last winter when I started, I put together like a, um, what do you call it? Oh shoot, like an obstacle course. I put
Okay.
an obstacle course, up and down the stairs to the apartment and, around this and around that and up and over this and climb the ladder and knock on this wall, just stupid things. But every time I wanted a cigarette, that's what I would do is I would go out there and I'd do that once or twice. You know what I mean? And just I get breathing heavy and it's like, I don't want that damn cigarette. I don't want that cigarette. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
it's just over time, pretty good. I would dream about it. I would wake up in the morning and just, you know what I mean?
I know.
It, pretty soon you wake up one morning and you don't even think about it. And that is so, so cool. So don't give up, but you definitely gotta want to do it. You do.
Did did you, Lisa, did you use the nicotine gum or lollipops or something? No.
I used my CBD. I used my CBD. I did. And I'll tell you what, it did curb. It did the gummies. I would suck
Right.
on one. I would suck on, I
Mhm.
would not eat them. I would suck on it until it was gone. And just that little taste of that, I don't know, it seemed to satisfy me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah,
It
whatever works.
whatever works, absolutely. So, and I just kept busy, you know.
Yeah.
Now that it's been, like a year, now I got to get it off my hips.
Yeah. We all
Because
do.
yeah, and I did gain weight, but that's okay. At least I'm still
Yeah.
here to work it off, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
So, okay, so anyway, when we should never, how do I want to start this? When we talk about the will in this book, it is talking to about our willpower, which means to control, like I said. Okay, most of our bad habits are due to just laziness or lack of willpower. It's just comfortable. It's easier just to do what we've always done. You know what I mean? We don't have to apply our will power to anything outside of ourselves. And don't we all do this? Oh, you should do this or you should do that.
Yeah.
We have no right to do that. It's completely wrong to coerce people by mental power in order to get them to do what you want them to do. It's just as wrong as it is to take something by physical force.
Right.
If taking something by physical force is robbery, then taking things by mental force is robbery too. There is no
Mhm.
difference in those principles. So if we think it's for their own good, even if we think this is for their own good, they don't know any better. That's not for us to decide. We don't know what is good for any other person other than ourselves. And besides, it would be like trying to coerce God into doing something, and that's just foolishness, right?
Right.
So and I can see myself doing this, so especially when it comes to our kids. You know, uh, don't we know best? Good grief! But we there's a fine line there, even with our children. We want them to be able to be themselves and whatever. So, we really got to learn to pick our battles
Hmm.
when it comes to other people. And really, we can't worry about what is not in our immediate, our closest five. You know what I mean? We
Right.
can't worry about anything outside that. And with that closest five, you know what I'm talking about, the five people closest to you, you are who you hang with. You are who you hang with. So think about that and think about the people that are closest to you in your life, who you communicate with on a daily basis. Is
Hmm.
that who you wish yourself to be? Is that the type of person that you want to be? Because that is exactly who you are. Sometimes it might hurt knowing that, and sometimes maybe it's not. But if I had a choice of it being in a room of five people, do I want to be the smartest? Nope, I sure don't, because I'm not gonna learn anything, right?
Yes.
You know, and
Yeah.
yeah, we just got to get over ourselves, and, and we're not all that. We can be if we put our focus to where it needs to be on exactly what we're doing and not what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
So that's a hard one for a lot of people, and it's hard for me too. You want everybody to be just so and act just so, and Then,
Mhm.
yeah, in a perfect world, right? So, yeah, we don't have to get the devil to do our dirty deeds for us. The substance is friendly to us. The
Mhm.
substance is friendly to us. And he wants to give us everything that we want, even more so than we want to get it, you know?
Yeah.
So we don't have to be nasty. We don't have to do any of that stuff. If we can just, I've been thinking about this a lot this week, just doing these, and I get so I get so wound up into certain things, and I get fired up, and it's just me. Um, but honestly, most of that firing up is trying to get other people to do something like how I want, or it, isn't that true? That is so, so
Mhm.
true. And I have to actually just stop. I have to stop and think before I talk these days. I do. Because I've got to keep that at the forefront part of my brain. I do, because otherwise I say and do things, and then I stop and think about it. Well, yeah, I wanted to say that, but did I want to say that? Do you know what I mean? Trying to get people to do what I want them to do, and it's just not right. It's just
Yeah.
not right. And if I just worry about what I need to do, then life would be good, right? Life would be peachy. So anyway, this is this is exactly where we need to use the will to get into the habit. Um, we can, like I'm talking on these book clubs, I'm doing all the talking. It's almost like, how can I learn anything? You know what I mean? I can't learn anything. So this is why we open it up to the rest, because everybody has an opinion. Everybody is entitled to that opinion. And we need to just sit back, listen without judging. Hard. Another hard one, isn't it? And don't we think we're perfect and everybody else has got some things to do here? They got a minute of work. How foolish are we, But anyway, so pretty soon you're going to wake up one morning, if we got to memorize what we do. We got to memorize what we want to be doing every day. And pretty quick one morning, you're going to wake up and it's just like that un, uh, unconscious competence. You are just doing it without even thinking. Just like you get up every morning and maybe you head to the coffee pot, or brush your teeth or get that water or do your morning ritual, you know? I used to think that was so stupid. Oh my gosh,
Mm,
what a waste of time. What a waste of time. You sit here an hour and do that, you know what I mean? But
mm,
this is the time that we need to focus on what is within. What is within, and just the things that we knew we need to do every single day to get from point A to point B, to meet our goals, to do whatever, to do the mundane, like Robert
okay.
always says, the stuff that is, ah, you just don't want to do that. I don't, I'll
Mhm.
do this, this, and this. I'm not doing that. But that's exactly where we need our willpower, is to get through that mundane, to do the
Yeah.
things that we need to do. And it absolutely is going to get easier. It absolutely is. Do you gals do a morning ritual at all? And it's okay if you don't. Deb, do you do the same thing, or do you kind of mix it up a little bit, or
I the first thing I do is I pray and I say good morning to God, and He likes being called awesome, and you tell him how much you love him because He likes that, is what I hear. It's the first thing I do, and then I do my I statements, my what do you call those?
I am.
I
Yeah,
am.
yeah. My I am statements. And then I do the words by Melanie Riva.
Good.
And
Yep.
I do the God memorandum. So
I listen to the God memory. I should be reading that.
I listen to it too,
I
you know.
listen to it at night when I go to bed. That's always in my ear when I go to bed.
That's a good
And
idea.
yeah, just because it does take 35 minutes and I read a chapter of this book, Science Getting Rich, every single day. It's in no particular order. It's like if I feel like I'm lacking in an area, let's just say gratitude. Gratitude is always one of the best ones to always fall back on. If you are going through life and it seems like everything is just, it's not flowing with ease. If it's not flowing with ease, something is out of alignment. First of all, just be aware of that, because we can go through with life and one bad thing after another, and we don't even stop and think, you know, where did this freaking roller coaster start? You know what? And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be right
Yeah.
here with us. And if we don't fill our cup first, how can you expect to give to other people? How can you expect to have your cup full to be able to give that love? You need that love first in order. We have to love ourselves first. And not so sure if I always was in love with myself. You know what? But I'm beginning to really, I like me. I like spending time with me. I do. I'm funny. I'm hysterical sometimes, but you know, I'm okay to be around and I like myself. And if we can't like ourselves first, then you're certainly not going to be pouring into anybody else anytime soon.
Yeah.
Okay. So keep that in mind. And you know what? Even during the day, if I've got a really stressful day going on, hopefully that's not going to be the case anymore for me. Anyway, um, I would have to, like at lunchtime or something, I would have to go and meditate for 10 minutes. I would just have to go and get within myself. And this is the time that we should be thinking of our vision that whole entire time. You know what? Think about those goals. Think about what you want to do. It's not selfish. Think about it every chance you have. Every chance you have. Think about that end result, what you are working for, and if that don't make you smile, you know. So anyway, okay, I kind of get going off on a tangent here. I apologize for that. Does anybody
All
have
right.
anything they want to add so far to this chapter? Did anything strike you guys, or did you get a pop anywhere, or maybe you didn't read it? I don't know. But either way, whatever. um Like I said, okay,
Well, you
you
know,
want
I'm sorry.
no, go
I
ahead.
can't, I'm gonna admit something. I can't find my book.
Okay.
I've been looking for it. I can't find it.
Oh,
So
okay. Well, it's in the group too, isn't it, Deb?
yes, it is.
Yeah.
I
And
just realized it
in
was.
fact, if you go into files, you can bring up just that chapter too. I
Okay.
copied and pasted all of it. So, yeah, it's in there if you choose to do that. Let's see. Okay, I'll go back a little bit here then. Okay, so we want to keep our minds at home. We can accomplish so much more this way, and I've got to the point. I know you guys don't know my hubby, love him to death. But I don't know, it's almost like he's doing this without even thinking about it. I think he is kind of sabotaging me a little bit. i I don't know, but here nor there, whatever. If
Can you meet him? Can we meet him?
Can you meet him? Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. He's outside right now, but yeah, you can meet him.
Okay.
if he wants to. He's goofy. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and he's actually been letting me discuss this book with him, which
Oh,
is, yeah.
that's
I
Well, that
mean,
amazing.
helps. That helps a lot.
absolutely, doesn't it? I mean, if your partner is not on board with what you're doing, that they can make your life pretty miserable,
Yep,
you know.
I know that.
And I that's where I was getting to. I got to the point, you know, it's like as soon as I started, he's like, talking about everything under the sun. It's like, really, you know. So I have to get to the point. I tune him right out. I tune him right out. Doesn't like that much, but he's getting it. He just stops. You know what I mean? But yeah, I tune him right out, and I gotta focus on what I'm doing. Otherwise, I would get nothing done. You know what I mean? And he'll, are you ignoring me? Well, yeah. You know, okay, do you get it now? But anyway, and I think he is afraid to see me succeed. Does that make sense? I
Yeah,
think he thinks that I will want something different, or do you know what I mean? I
yeah.
think it's almost kind of, I don't know, it's
It's like afraid,
he
afraid.
I think so, and he would never admit that. No way, no
No.
way, and holy, you know what? But I'm almost positive that's exactly what it is. And instead of I used to get really upset, and it's just like, man, it's not all about you, whatever, whatever, whatever. Now I smile to myself, and I just think, he just loves me so much.
Mm-hmm.
He just loves me so much. I think of, something to make me feel better about the situation, and that helps. That helps.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If you have to change your perspective, one of our other higher faculties, in order to let things flow nicely, then that's what we
Mm,
should do.
right.
I guess that's the long way around of making that the point that I wanted to make, but that's exactly why I told you that story, because I think we need to just stop and change our perspective. If that's all it took and your whole life would change, by golly, do that. Do that. You know, who cares? We don't always have to be right. We don't, and I'm famous for that, being that right fighter. Dang it, that ain't right. I don't care what whatever. And
Right.
I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. That was a
Mm,
hard one for me to stop big time. So I'm just explaining from experience. I'll tell you what, that is where your wisdom comes from. Experiencing these and going through the difficulties and knowing what can I do better next time. What can I do to make that whole situation better? If you know you're coming up with a confrontation of some sort, step back and look at it in another person's eyes. You know, feel that situation from all perspectives and then rethink it through. You know, if we just don't have to react, we got to stop reacting.
mm,
And that takes willpower. It absolutely does.
yeah.
So it's not an easy thing. Okay. Let's see, where was I? It has to be practiced. It has to be practiced in order to get good. So we just have to practice those things and be mentally aware that we are doing that. Just stop. It is so much better not to say anything
Yeah.
than to say something that you're going to regret, or it's hard to take back, or you're going to, rip somebody's little heart out or something. It's not all about us. Okay. And know that this other person is thinking that way for a reason too, right?
Mhm.
You know, maybe did you guys always do personal development? I mean, did you
No,
grow up knowing that there was such a thing?
no,
I didn't. Not at
no.
all. Could you imagine? You know, I think about this a lot now that I'm an adult, and I think about the different kids that I grew up with. And there was this one girl in school, and just a very tall, lanky, beautiful blonde. This girl always just this huge smile, always plastered on her face. I never saw her without a smile on her face. She was always happy. Could you imagine just growing up and feeling that way? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Bravo for her parents because they did
Mm,
a wonderful job, you know, just making her. That is so cool. And you think about it, that's exactly where we get our perspective from
true.
is what we were around growing up, right?
That's true.
It
Mm-hmm.
is. It's sad truth. And we can't blame our parents. You know what? They did the best with what they could with what they had at the time.
Yeah.
You know? And if we didn't grow up with that self-development, then obviously they did not either, right? So
Yeah.
it's not their fault. So we yeah. That is kind of cool. You know, we should be a very harmonious um, whole world here, just if everybody thought that way, you know. So when we get to that point, we are making positive impressions constantly to that formless substance, right? So as I said, when we need that time to ourselves or when we have time to just sit and think, that's when we need to hold those all those pictures of our desires, you know, hold them in your head and trust that it is going to happen and have faith that it's absolutely going to happen. And then we need to speak it as if it already is in existence. Believe it just like it's already there. Do you remember back in chapter 6 when that guy was going through his house and he was imagining, you know, new things, what he could do, and he thought so hard about it. You know, he pictured that stove in the corner. He pictured a bay window. He pictured a new rug. Pretty quick, he got all those things, didn't he? And then he was upset because he did not think bigger. He did
Yes.
not wish bigger. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to wish too big. You know, shoot for the stars, land on the moon. You know what I mean? You're going to grow. You are going to grow regardless. So take that. You know, I think that this is my favorite part of this book is the growing. And I can feel myself growing, you know, because I feel like I know a little more this round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm understanding the book a little bit more. This is not a read once book.
No.
Absolutely not. And I'm telling you what, I look forward to the chapter. I don't care whatever chapter, but I do always fall back on gratitude if I'm
Mm-hmm.
just struggling all around with if things are just getting to the point where if we can fall back on gratitude and be grateful for the things that everybody else takes for granted,
Right.
the air that we breathe, you
Mm-hmm.
know, that simple, just waking up in the morning, you know,
Like the sun.
ears, yes, ears to hear. So many people are deaf. You know, eyes to see the
Mhm.
beauty of the world. We have so much to be grateful for that, you know, if you think in those terms, it's going to make whatever it is that you're dealing with a little bit easier.
Yes.
Maybe not so much a big deal. If it's something that we can't control, then we just not put it out of your mind. You
Mm.
know, let the universe take care of those things. So it's funny how it does that. But when we have doubt, if we are not working on ourselves, that doubt is always going to seep through. It always is going to seep through because we second guess ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We don't trust our instincts. I'm telling you, if I went back in hindsight now, back when I first started online and all those terrible things happened and I got scanned and just, it was a total
Yeah.
nightmare. If I was not growing during that process, I had a nervous breakdown. I did. I
Mm-hmm.
could have lost it completely,
Right.
and maybe not found my way back if I had not been growing during that whole situation too. Thank God for that. And that is what has made me hang on as long as I have, to keep coming back, to keep doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Exactly.
takes, it's a different version of me. Um, this version of me now, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, when I did get scammed, I am not that same person. That would
Oh,
never
no.
happen today. It
Right.
would never happen today,
Yeah. You
you know?
learn.
And it is what it is.
Yeah.
We got to learn from our mistakes. We have to move on, and we can't keep beating a dead horse, you
I
know?
know.
I I I went to the FBI. I was so obsessed with getting this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Getting him, and it was literally tearing me down. It was
Right.
literally holding me back, and I had to let it go. I had to forgive somehow. I had to,
Absolutely. Yeah.
because it was taking me nowhere. You know what I mean? So we
It's
have to
crazy.
get over it and move on. We can't we can't make people treat us good. We can
No.
by our own actions and how we treat others, absolutely. But we can't control
No.
what's going on in their head. We can't control what they're doing. You know what I mean? And that's what these two chapters are all about in a nutshell, is keeping that will within ourselves and not on other people. And we got to keep poverty out of our mind as well, because nobody got rich by thinking about poverty all day long. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, when we all do, we run into all kinds of people online.
Yes.
People want this from you, they want that from you. All that is a band-aid. We are not
Mm.
helping anybody by sending them even $20 or a
I
loaf of
know.
bread. It's just a band-aid.
Yeah.
you know what the most that we can do for people like that is to um, put some of the thoughts that we are thinking now into their head. Don't let them talk about poverty. Let them dream. Get them to dreamscape and talk about, what do you desire? You know what? If money and time were not an issue, what can you
Mm-hmm.
see yourself doing? What would you be doing right now? Where would you be? Who would you be with? What are you seeing? What are you smelling? Get them to actually dreamscape and feel the emotions that are attached with that.
Yeah.
Get them thinking about wealth and health and prosperity. you know inspire them,
Right.
to think the same way. That is, and make the most of yourself. That is how we can help the poor.
Yes.
In that book, Wallace Wattles tells us that don't be donating your time.
No, no
Don't,
charity.
for charity, we should not be doing that because all we are doing is keeping it in the existence.
Yes.
It's like studying the science of medicine
Mhm.
has filled the world with more disease.
Right.
You think
True. That's
about
true.
that. It, that is where illness comes from, in our minds. And I, I'm still a little confused as far as being born with illnesses. And
Mm,
I don't know, Melody is a good one to talk to about this. Robert too. Robert
mhm.
too. In fact, I need another talk about that because there is a fine line there for me. At what point do you say, you know what, it's just all in your head, or you're thinking this, or you're creating this? What
Mhm.
about the people that are born
Right.
with diseases? I mean,
Right.
I don't get that, but you know what I'm coming from, though?
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
we
definitely.
can think ourselves sick. We
Oh,
absolutely
yeah.
can. Absolutely can. I've done it.
Yep.
I have.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. And if that's what you're focusing on, that is absolutely what you're bringing about. You're not going to bring the opposite, is which what we truly want,
Right.
right?
It's true.
So that's the way we got to think. So, um, anybody? Anything? I really don't have too much more to talk about on this chapter. Um, let's see. Oh, that's Robert's notes. I'm just looking back at my notes here real quick. But yeah. So what did you guys think? I shouldn't do this on camera, but that's all right. What did you guys think of 2.0? Are you all excited?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It should
It
be
seems like
interesting.
everything is big,
It
you
is.
know?
It is. I mean, so many tools, so many tools. Unbelievable opportunity for so many people. So,
And
okay.
much more simple,
Yeah, it is.
more simple to use. Everything was up, down, here, there in the back office.
Hmm. And
But now it's when you send somebody there, it's easier for them to get
I'll tell
what
you
they're
what,
supposed to be looking at.
I have many customers that struggled on that
Yeah,
website,
yeah,
and I ended up being the overseer for many of my customers. I don't
yeah.
think I'm going to have to do that
No,
anymore.
hope, yeah,
That creating that cart is awesome.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
awesome. I tried that out last night. And yeah, I think I'm going to really like that. So that makes it so much easier for our customers. And
right.
yeah, so I'm excited about that. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Anybody, if you guys got something, out with it. Next week, I think, isn't next week is Easter. Do you guys want to take a break next weekend and have the whole weekend off, or up to you guys? I can go either way.
It doesn't matter to me at all.
Okay. I would like to get done with this book before the weather gets really nice, for sure. And it's like 50 out today, and I'm like just
Uh,
itching to get out in the
yeah, yeah,
sun. But
yeah.
yeah, this is
I
my
don't
first.
know, it's like
Yeah.
94 here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We still got snow. Snow is everywhere. We just had that messy
Big
stuff a couple
storm.
days ago. Yeah, it's still there. So yeah, I can't even do yard work yet. But you know what? We're going to be beautiful when you are really, really hot. Really
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
One
beautiful
more
here.
summer of this, so one more summer.
This is my first summer off in more than 40 years.
Wow.
Wow.
I am
You'll enjoy it.
super freaking pumped. I am not going to be in this house much, that's for sure.
No,
Okay.
that's
All right.
amazing.
Anything? You guys want to share anything with me? Go for it. No.
Lisa,
Mhm.
I wanted, when I went through 9 and 10, I think like with Robert's, all his videos and everything, you listen. Um, but like I went from 9, which I felt was pretty much of the thought and having the faith and purpose, and, to hold that thought to bring it to fruition. But I really felt like 10 really knocked it out of the ballpark, where it said you pretty much have to, and Robert does mention this over and over, but you don't realize to the magnitude until you go into this chapter of how many distractions you have, and where you're not concentrating on this visualization. Like, I love the beach, so I picture like a little cottage by the beach, by the water, sitting there, relaxing. That would be my perfect day.
You know, Gina, that's perfect that you brought that up because you know what? We should be working on our perfect day
Mhm.
continuously.
Right,
Continuously. Keep
right.
that going. Absolutely. Go ahead, finish. I
Yeah.
love that you brought that up.
So, you realize, like they say, put up a picture, whether it's like right in front of your computer or all over your house, refrigerator, whatever. So, like, I keep this picture, the beach, the cottage, because that's where my happy place is. And like wanting to be able to have, enough money, but I have to think bigger, enough money and more to be able to give to, people that I want to share with.
Mhm.
But you don't realize how much distraction, and I guess because I'm working full time, that pulls me in a negative place because
Mhm.
the place is negative. But when I read chapter 10 and listening to Roberts, you know, going back and listening to his videos, when he keeps saying, and chapter 10 said the same thing, you cannot like let that vision come out of your mind. You have to keep this vision in front of you with faith that it's already yours, and the purpose. And the big thing with 10, that when I was reading it blew me out of the water, was don't think at all about poverty or other people that are having, living a poverty life. Um, don't surround yourself with that kind of thinking, because as easy as it is that we just are listening at, like me, if I'm at work, I'm listening to somebody complaining about, oh my God, whatever. Your head goes there. But then when I read 10, I'm like, you have to keep bringing yourself almost back to the center and stay with this vision, and stay that this is my purpose. This is my truth. I have faith. This is mine, and not let anything
Mhm.
stop it.
And yeah, that's excellent, Gina. I'm glad you keyed in on that because that is a huge part of maintaining that. And you
Yeah,
just, yeah, you gotta, one other thing that you brought up, about dreaming big enough, um, it's not enough to just want money, but you
right,
gotta also know where that money is gonna go,
right,
where it's
right,
gonna go. And you need to be in detail because if we don't have a place for that,
right.
first of all, we need to be ready to receive too, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
and if you are not in your place and doing the best that you can, if you
Mhm.
know that you're lacking or slacking or just
Right.
you know what I mean, then you
Yeah.
are not ready to receive it.
Right.
I
That's
think
right.
I think we have to really remember that, all
Hmm.
these little pieces that we just got to remember. And we're going to be getting into those two chapters, thinking in a certain way and acting in a certain way. All of these things, when they start all clicking at the same time, it's like such a cool, I mean, you just feel like, oh my gosh, this is so going to happen, and
Right.
just really, really feel that and believe it, hold that faith. That is so, so important. And that keeps you in that mindset where you need to be, where you're
Yeah.
always pleasing, and we do need to be. I didn't like being a people pleaser, but
Right.
you can do that a certain way too. You know what I mean? To to make you feel, you know what, you did the right thing. You really
Right.
did. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Hmm.
just if we can just show people love regardless what they do to us, I guess.
I know.
That is
I
so
know.
we want to be
We want.
justified. We want to be justified for
Yeah.
everything. And dang it, if I have to be accountable, they should be too, right?
Right.
Damn
Right.
it. Yeah, that's that right fighter in me.
I know. Me too.
I love that though. Thanks for sharing that, Gina. I mean, that's
Yeah.
so, so, so true. And I think this is why it's important to, I'm not saying you got to read this whole book over and over and over and over and over again, but
Mhm.
but yeah, you kind of do. You
You
you got
do.
to be repetitious about it because I reading this one time, are
I
you
know.
kidding
I
me?
know.
No way. No way, because it's something that we need to unconsciously, it's got to be there, like our morning ritual, like our habits that we do every day without fail.
Right.
This has
Right.
got to be a part of that too,
Yeah.
and then you are choosing how the outside world is interacting with your
Hmm.
inside world. Then you got control of that, not
Yeah.
anybody else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay, that's awesome. Deb, anything? Sue, how about you? Thank you for hopping on again. I appreciate any new faces, but I don't see your face.
No, no, I'm up. I'm in a dark room, so I haven't bothered putting my camera on today. But it's been absolutely beautiful listening to you once again. You're
Oh,
absolutely beautiful soul. Hi Gina, hi Debbie.
Hi.
Um, it's lovely actually. I mean, I love the book actually. To be fair, it's one of my favourite books that I mean, I like the secret book as well because that was done by some beautiful people as well.
I'll
The
tell you,
book,
look at what Rhonda Burns, look at
yes,
what that woman did.
yeah, yeah,
That's
absolutely,
what started her, is this
yeah,
book. Did you,
She's
you guys
yeah,
awesome.
know that, didn't you? I talked
yeah,
about it, I think,
yeah,
in an earlier one. You guys may have been here or not, but she she took something that inspired her, right? She took something that inspired her and she went to freaking town on it. I mean, she just got so pumped up and started her on a rampage, and look at what she created from it. The secret
Yeah.
of it, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
over $300 million on just
My God.
that movie and the book.
Blows your mind.
Unbelievable. It can happen that quick.
Yeah.
So be inspired. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Sue. I'm sorry, I got
yeah. No,
wound
no,
up
it's
there.
okay. That's fine. I always believe because I mean, I think I'm a clairvoyant medium, so and a healer. So I deal with all vibrations and feelings and all types of things. So I work with the universe quite a lot on a day-to-day basis. So I feel things probably faster than some other people might feel it, or I get a feeling about something. The universe is changing massively. And a lot of people now have got, there's labels on things now of certain mind things, like anxiety, depression, ADHD. You got a whole bunch of labels on things, and people need labels on this. Whereas years ago, you didn't have that.
Right.
So there's a whole world out there now wanting to do self-discovery, self-help, self-care, whatever you like to call it, mindfulness. At the end of the day, people want that and need that now. So you need to turn their heads and say, look, there's positivity where there's negativity that can run side by side without it even bothering you. So it's and it's all people like yourself that's able to sort of talk it out and say things and stuff. That is good, because then getting people in groups and building that vibration up of amazing people thinking positive about life and being able to say, yes, there is a purpose in life, but also you can look at things in a different light if you walked across as lanes just for 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
so cool, Sue. Thank you so much for sharing that. You know what? You caught me there. I was listening. That stuff it intrigues me. It
I
does. And
know. I love it.
yeah.
I could talk for hours. Gina knows I could talk for hours about spirituality and the
I
universe,
would
and
love to
me
listen
and
to
Gina
you.
talk for
So
hours about it.
Yeah,
It's
we got to have a Zoom call on spirituality.
yeah,
yeah,
that would be
yeah.
so cool. I would
Well,
be
on
Yeah,
so there.
TikTok,
cool.
on TikTok, I'm going to start doing some, like tidbits on how to be mindfulness and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I do fun videos on TikTok and everything else because everyone else got on there. So I thought, well, hey, you can't beat them, might as well join them.
Right. But there's some people you can copy. I like copying
Yeah,
Robert.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, there you go. And anyway, thank you, Sue, for sharing that. And if you ever do have one of those spiritual calls or talks, you better
yeah,
include me.
yeah.
Yep.
Will
No
do.
problem.
Exactly.
That would be so cool. I would be so all about that. So,
Yes.
all right, ladies, I'm going to wrap it up here then, unless anybody's got anything else. We
I think we're
good?
good.
We good? Let's go ahead and shoot for next Saturday then. We'll do chapters, I think 11 and 12 are both acting and thinking, acting in a certain way. Oh, and efficient action. Um, Let me see what the next one is. Maybe we'll do 3. Impression of increase. That one kind of goes together. Advancing man, that kind of goes together. You know what? It doesn't matter. Every single chapter has got good, juicy stuff. So if we kind of pick it apart a little bit, we get a little better understanding. I hope. I hope you guys are. And I think at the end of this, I have got a whole pile of really thought provoked questions that I believe Robert or Melody, one of them shared that with me. And if you can answer those questions on your own, we can talk about them or on your own, whatever.
Mhm.
That really will give you a good foundation to know that you are understanding this book as it was intended to.
Right.
That makes sense? Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But yeah, this book is super cool. I don't think I would ever attempt Think and Grow Rich, but never say never, right?
Yeah. You never know.
All right, guys, you have an amazing weekend. Thank you all so much for spending part of your day here with me. My new mantra. What was I going to say? This is funny. If nobody has given you permission yet to like me, let me be the
Yeah.
permission. Okay, I'm out of here.
You get,
Mini
you
Robert.
you get the thumbs up and the heart.
Oh, thank you. All right, love you guys. Have a great
Love
week.
Love you
Guys.
too.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.